I mean, the coin looks real, but I do not think the post is accurate. Who in their right mind is coding worthless coins in gold and platinum and silver? Right around about $2,000 worth of coins in those two coins alone. So very exciting. What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Jeff. I've been a coin dealer for 10 years and we're going to look at some stuff that we found on the internet. This is what we would call a coin dealer's worst nightmare. And this is why I beg of you to make an appointment or email us beforehand. For the love of God, do not bring $3,000 worth of pennies into any coin dealer. It is the last thing that they want to see. If you're asking, is it worth your time to sort through these pennies? The answer is going to be most likely no.
What do you suggest someone does if they do have this many pennies?
Go to Publix. Or if you're around the country, go somewhere where they have a coin machine and just dump them. I know by us, we have Publix shopping plazas. Every Publix has one of those little coin quest machines that you pour it into. You pour it into there, they take around 8% and then give you a ticket back to collect your cash. That's most likely the best thing you could do here. Now, if you said that that was dimes or quarters, I'd be saying, let's go back and look for the pre-1964 stuff because that's silver and that's real money. But I will not go through $3,000 worth of pennies for you. So that's not happening. That's 300,000 pennies. It probably wouldn't even be worth the time to buy a coin roller and try to roll them all up. It's $3,000 minus the 8% that the coin quests are going to take from you. Found this metal detecting off the Treasure Coast of Florida. Liar. Just kidding. I don't really know, but realistically, this is from 1787. Very modern, right? Not a cob type like this one. I'd have to look up wrecks to see if there was any wrecks after the 1780s, this was after the United States had already started, which I don't know of any wrecks that happened that late in time. Most of the wrecks, like the Etosha, were in the 1600s, the 1715 fleet. You even have like the La Luz, which was in the mid 1700s in Uruguay, but not a lot of wrecks to my knowledge happened in the late 1700s to early 1800s off the Florida coast, right? This is called the Treasure Coast mainly because the 1715 fleet that would have wrecked here, which, I mean, there's a long history. We can go into that in another video. But realistically speaking, they made the cob type, which just means hammer struck gold coin, all the way up until the 1750s. And then after the 1750s, they made the milled type, which is what you're seeing here. So because of the date, this wouldn't have ended up on any ships to my knowledge that would be on the Treasure Coast, so I would have no idea why you would find this coin metal detecting in Florida. Doesn't seem realistic. Seems like you probably found this at a coin dealer on the Treasure Coast and probably just posted this. I could be wrong.
Wow, so you're thinking it's not even real. You're thinking they didn't find it metal detecting at all.
I mean, the coin looks real, but I do not think the post is accurate. Okay. Again, message me in the comments below if you know of any wrecks that happened around the Treasure Coast. It is possible. You know, the Spaniards did find St. Augustine. It is possible 300 years later they made new coins and, you know, one of them fell out of someone's pocket and magically this person found it. Sure, but realistically, I would not know of any particular wreck that would have come. It would have to be after the 1780s. It wouldn't be from one of the shipwrecks that are considered to be the Treasure Coast shipwrecks, you know, the Florida Keys, the Etosha, the Lacayan from the Bahamas, the Jupiter wreck, the Dragon. It wouldn't be any of those wrecks because all of those happened obviously in the early 1700s. So could this have fallen out of someone's pocket at some point in time and then be refound by metal detecting? Sure. But found metal detecting off Treasure Coast of Florida makes it seem like it's some shipwreck coin. No, probably not. What does this say here? A gift from my grandparents 15 years ago. Is it junk? Who in their right mind is coding worthless coins in gold and platinum and silver? Worthless. Most likely. I've never really seen anything like this before. I don't believe that the U.S. Mint made these. I'd have to look more into them.
Looks like they're from the World Reserve Monetary Exchange.
It's possible that these are private minted coins. If they are gold and platinum, hoorah to you. That's probably the best gift on the planet you can get. That looks like a roll of about 20 coins each with gold at $3,500. You're looking at 70K in gold, probably around 20K in platinum and palladium. So you're looking at about $100,000 worth of precious metals if that is real. You could probably do a simple Google search to see if this case of coins goes for over $100,000 or not to realize if it's real money. But usually these are just tchotchke things that
yeah, they're like dipped or plated.
Dipped or plated. It's just for collecting purposes. They're realistically not worth more than 50 cents unless it's solid. Don't buy from the television. Oh, wow, look at this one. Found this in an old farmhouse I'm working on. So right, that'd be considered theft because the house you're working on, that coin probably belongs to them. So you should probably give it to the owners and not take it home. But if you're inquiring more information about this coin, this would be an Incuse design Indian that was made only in $2.50 and $5 during the early 1900s during World War I and World War II. They only made these for a short period amount of time. And again, majority of these coins or type gold coins are actually just about a spot value. Unless you have it in really good condition or a special date and mint mark, they're not going to bring much more money over than that. A little fun fact about these coins is because of the Incuse design, most people thought that these coins were dirty because obviously Incuse, things fell into them and stayed into them. Because of the influenza that was going around, most people didn't want these coins because they considered these coins to be carriers of diseases or illnesses. Because the coins would hold on to dirt, they figured they'd hold on to germs as well. These coins weren't really desired during those time periods, which is maybe another reason why they never made the Incuse design for any other coins or really ever again. Let me know in the comments if you know of any other American Incuse designs, but to my knowledge, these are the only two that they actually did.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably some patterns out there, but
maybe. I mean, honestly, right now off the tip of my tongue, I really can't think of another coin America made that was an Incuse design coin. You know, even Canada tried to make a modern rendition of an Incuse design maple leaf and it broke their mint and they decided not to do that again in 2025. So, you know, not only did they not like it back then, but it's also an extremely difficult thing to do, even with modern technology when they're trying to do super Incuse designs and stuff like that. So hard design, the population, uneducated at that time, didn't know any better, and which resulted in something like this not being a coin that was held onto or collected. And they didn't make them for too long during World War I and World War II. So the ones that do exist mostly existed in vaults or findings. So there's a lot of them. There's a plethora of them. So you can usually get these at a small premium above spot for the most part. But $5, an ounce of gold was $20 an ounce. This would make this 1/4 of an ounce of gold. So it is, at $3,500 worth about $800 if it is a $5. Sold my truck, had it posted for $30K. How did we do? Well, my first question is when did you do this? Which I can see you did this 5 months ago, so gold was on the up and up. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're looking at 11 coins with gold around $3,500. You're looking at right around $38,000 to $39,000. Those do look like modern coins for the most part, so you're not going to have much or any numismatic value in those. But just on the melt value alone, if your truck was worth $30K, with where spot is today, that's right around $37,000 to $40,000 in actual gold. So I would say that's a win-win. You're about 20% up on the cash that you thought you had, and you're doing good.
Since these are modern, would you suggest that he gets these graded, or would you not touch those?
I mean, considering that you're up $8,000, I would say that it's probably worth the $500 to send all of these coins in to get professionally certified. Unfortunately, because of these types of moderns and because they've been touched, they don't really bring any numismatic value, especially if they're not in a mint state 70. But when it comes to reselling them, storing them, and being able to demand authenticity of your product, obviously the certification process would bring you those comfortable notions. So even though it probably isn't most recommended, it would be worth it. So wife's parents had to empty their safe due to fires. These were inside. Are they valuable? Obviously, we have 2 coins here. Now, what's really cool about these 2 coins is they are actually in old school coin flips. So that's usually exciting first to see from an actual coin dealer perspective. 1 gold coin, 1 silver coin. It seems like they're very early on. Now, flipping through the images, you can see real quick, which would be considered a Draped bust silver dollar. Now, what's really crazy about this is it is a turn of the century dollar, right? So you're looking within the first 10 years that the United States even minted coins, which is pretty crazy. So now if you open the red book and the guide of all books, you really see that in 1880s actually has 6 different types in the book alone. And in the 1800s, you'll realize that they're all pretty much the same value, but even in worse condition, this coin is about $1,000, right? So this would be one of those ones where definitely check that box. very valuable. Send off to get graded, know the exact grade, and go from there. So now, obviously, this coin is heavily circulated. This is going to be in one of the lowest conditions that it can. But again, you're going to want to get this certified. You're going to want to know the exact value, and you're going to want to get every dollar out of this. Now, the gold one, this particular one looks like it's a $5. I'm going to look at, $5. Looks like it's a San Francisco, if you can see on the reverse, right under the talons on the back of the coin. So again, pull out the book. You're going to scroll through this book until you see gold coins. $10, $5, really simple. Go all the way down to the 1880s and you're going to see San Francisco. Why is this important to know? Well, you'll see that the Carson City version of this coin is $2,000. The Philadelphia version of this coin is $850. And the San Francisco version of this coin is also $850. Right, so it's really important to know, right, how to find your coins and how to identify your coins. So overall, right around about $2,000 worth of coins in those two coins alone. So very exciting. Oh, so this one's going to be interesting. Kept in grandfather's pocket for 50 plus years. Now, here's the funny part. This coin is theoretically worth its melt in silver. Really no value. This is what you would call a slider or a call condition. It's the lowest condition possible. But now here's the crazy part. If you get a coin in this condition and you can identify the date and mint mark on the coin, you can still get them graded as a G1, right? And what's crazy, and I know it sounds nuts, but people do pay a high premium to have the lowest certified registry set in existence. It's really hard to get the worst grade possible on a coin because you're scathing across not getting a grade at all. So there is a handful of dealers and collectors out there that do put sets like these together of the worst possible coin, period, certified, and they do sell for a premium, believe it or not. But otherwise, this particular one right there would be a slider in its worst condition. Would probably actually have a little bit less silver than what they normally hold just from missing all the contents of the coin. It'll actually probably weigh a gram or two less. But ideally in today's modern times, that's a $27 to $28 coin because of melt value. Thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see some more of this content, and comment below any of your thoughts and comments on more things we could do in the future. I hope you have a great day.